Oh my goodness. It's Friday. We made it through the week. My shirt today says "Suck it up, Buttercup." So it's a perfect shirt for what's going on with Amazon today. There is kind of a new announcement that was recently posted. So I'm going to get into this today, and then we're also going to talk today about some of the questions that we've got this week, what's going on this week, and then what's going on next week. So I'm going to bring up the chat so I can see everyone here. And I'm going to share my screen so we can talk about this. So there are new restock limits at the seller level. This is by product type. I'm going to show you what this looks like. And I've got some links inside of the Facebook group if you want to check them out. Okay. So there's an IPI limit. Let's talk about storage limits, okay? First, there's an IPI limit where if your inventory performance index score is not above, I think it's like 475 or something like that, that you cannot send in. You have quantity limits of what you can send in, right? But now there are actually restock limits. So even if you have an IPI score like I have, a really good IPI score, you are still going to be limited at how much you can restock. So it's really crazy. Let's actually look at it together. All right. So for example, somebody posted this in one of the groups. As of today, their restock limits, they have 9,000 units in stock of 3,884 units, which is their max inventory level. So even if they have unlimited inventory, so Amazon has totally lost the plot, had enough of this. I'm going to pull the plug on Europe. 15 new products being released before June. Europe is now canceled. I guess this is worse in Europe than it is in the US. And then we got worked out horrible for me. One product had a 20,000 unit ASIN limit. Now the entire account has 10,000 unit limit. Not only did my one product get halved, but now there's no room for new products, not even 200 units. It's bad news for me. I've had around 10,000 limit and it has been utilized already. I was allowed to create 2,000 plus shipment for my best selling product. Now I can only send 30 units. Apart from that, I was planning to launch 3 more products with a 200 inventory each. Now I can't. I'm worse off. 4 ASINs, 2 are brand new. Look at this restock limit. 37,000 of 7,000 allowed to restock. What does that mean, right? So bad. I have a lot of ASINs in the apparel category. Now I'm over the max, so I cannot send any new ASINs in. I have a whole shipment of new inventory that I paid express air for. I am just sick. The problem, you guys, is that Amazon is actually rejecting delivery of these products that people are sending in. They're rejecting delivery. This is not good. All these, and I'm going to show you an email that one of our mastermind group members got. Hello, guys. We are shipping some goods into Amazon. I've had one of our shipments canceled after it was picked up due to ASIN level quantity limits. One of our shipments canceled. I've seen some posts over a few weeks that this was an internal error, but nothing recently. Has anyone experienced this? What happened to your goods? It was collected by Amazon partnered carriers, so we cannot get in touch with them. And look, Amazon sent them an email and said, we are contacting you because your shipments exceeded available ASIN storage capacity that's provided for your account. These shipments are no longer expected at the assigned fulfillment center and may be rejected. So she contacted Amazon and they said, sorry, they're going to get rejected. You're going to have to figure it out. So all these people who have created shipments, what are they supposed to do, right? It's pretty insane, right? Personally, it's nuts. Personally, I cannot restock products that are selling well under this regime in Canada. The limits are so tight. So apparently the limits are worse in Canada and Europe than they are in the United States. Amazon recommends send a few 100 items a month and then limits my account to the point where it's not possible. It will mean that people can only sell items via FBA that turn over very fast. This might be the point, but ultimately brands will end up getting rid of color variations and avoid products with lots of different sizes. Oh man. If Amazon makes me send smaller shipments, it costs more. So I need to pass this cost on to customers to make it worth selling the item. And this is me saying this isn't good. If you have a really great selling product where you sent in a bunch of stock, now you're maxed your total overall storage for restock limits, right? And it prevents you from scaling effectively and will cause more stockouts overall because people will struggle to balance everything. So I would love to hear what you guys are experiencing with this and what you're thinking about this. So just so if there's one more here, restock limits 37,000 units in stock of 28,000 units allowed. Nelson says, hi, Amy. Sounds like restrictions are the norm. Well, not really. There was restrictions on how much you could send in of one ASIN, and those restrictions have been removed. But now it is a situation where you can't restock because even if your total inventory, and I'll show you guys what that looks like in terms of a screenshot that I have. So you can see like this person has unlimited storage volume. So they have unlimited storage, but they can't send in any inventory because they have restock limits. It's insane, right? So how do you find this information out? You go to inventory and inventory planning inside of Seller Central. And then for your inventory performance, you can click on the performance tab and you can look at your IPI, right? But then you can click on restock limits down here, okay? And you can see you might have unlimited storage volume, but your restock limits might prevent you from sending more in, right? So this account has 4,800 units max that can be sent in, but standard size storage is unlimited. Crazy. So I've posted all these links in the group for you guys, so you have them in the Amazing at Home Facebook group. So feel free to go in there and check it out. But I would love to hear from you and what this means for you because it does seem pretty crazy. It's affecting a lot of people. So it's good to know. So there is an FAQ page. So I've posted the link to this FAQ page, but this is what it looks like. How are restock limits determined? They're based on your past and forecasted sales, allowing you to allocate these limits across your ASINs. Okay, so they're based on your past and forecasted sales. So if you're a new seller, you might have more limits, but it seems kind of crazy. It says your account will no longer be subject to ASIN quantity limits. Why are you making these changes? We are continuously improving our policies to improve the efficiency of our fulfillment network and to better receive your products. We believe that restock limits provide better flexibility to allocate your limits and manage the inventory you send to Amazon. So basically, we believe that limiting you is the right thing to do so that you can figure it out on your own. Thank you, Amazon. How can I determine how much inventory I can send in? Go to your restock limits monitor and review your maximum shipment quantity by storage type. So that is, if we go back up here, go to your restock limits. So go to inventory planning, click on performance, and then click on restock limits at the bottom. Expand that out, and that's where you're going to be able to see that. Review your maximum shipment quantity by storage type. Maximum shipment quantity by storage type. Maximum inventory level, maximum shipment quantity. So maximum shipment quantity on this account is 3,464 units. Okay? So How do you calculate the maximum shipment quantity allowed? Your maximum shipment quantity equals the maximum inventory allowed minus utilization. How do you calculate utilization? Counts against your maximum inventory level and helps determine your maximum shipment quantity. So this help article is somewhat helpful and somewhat not. Oh my goodness. Will my FBA restock limits change? Okay, well, we all hope so, right? Why can't I create a shipment for some storage types? So you're going to be limited on shipments that you can create if you're over your restock limits, even if you have unlimited storage. If you've already created a shipment, it may be rejected upon delivery, and you're going to have to contact your carrier to try and get it returned or picked up. Insanity. I think if you're incredibly affected by this and you have an inventory inbound, I think that we're going to have to be very vocal. We're going to have to really take it to the news, do whatever we can do, because this is going to impact a lot of businesses. A lot of businesses are going to be severely impacted by this. So I think we're going to have to be vocal about it. It's really crazy. You can reduce the utilization of your limits by decreasing the amount of inventory you have in the fulfillment center or canceling open shipments for products that you do not intend to send to Amazon. Okay, cool guys. So cancel, your open shipments. You're gonna have to replan all of your inventory. If you haven't found warehousing off of Amazon, now is the time. Now is the time. We are lucky we have a warehouse outside of Amazon, but I cannot imagine. I can't imagine what this is going to do for people that already have reached their limits and now are going to have to do removal orders. I'm guessing Amazon will do a free removal order period coming up now after this. They usually do something like this when they make a major decision like this. So I would highly suggest that everybody gets out there and finds alternative options for warehousing, for storage. You really need to be able to take control of your inventory. You're going to have to seed feed Amazon. How can you find a warehouse? You can find a warehouse by, you can find warehouses by calling around, right? Googling, calling your freight forwarder most likely will know about warehouses near you. So, or near wherever your port cities are. I know my freight forwarder, Brownstone International, they own the largest network of ground freight in the US, and they have warehousing across the country. So definitely talk to your freight forwarders, give the prep centers a call, give the logistics centers a call, look for 3PLs, third-party logistics providers. You might not need fulfillment. You may just need storage, the ability to store and send shipments out. So your costs between warehouses could be significantly different. A 3PL that offers fulfillment will be significantly more expensive than a warehouse that's willing to send a shipment for you occasionally to Amazon, right? It's really important. Deliver is another really great option. Deliver with 2 R's, Deliverr. They're a great option, especially if you're wanting to sell in other channels. They have partnerships with Walmart and Target and everything else. We use Deliverr for our Walmart fulfillment, and they do a really good job. However, they're also at capacity, and it's only going to get worse now that this is happening, right? So some of you may not be impacted. If you're a new seller, you may not be impacted. You might be able to send in new quantities of things, but then when you go to restock your inventory, you may be impacted, especially if you have a product that's selling well. Okay, so keep all of that in mind. Would love to hear from you guys, hear how this is impacting you. I would love to continue and really talk about let's see, there's a lot more from that, but let's talk about some of the other Ask Me Anything questions. I'm going to make sure first, before I continue, that this is streaming in the groups. Yes, it is. Okay, cool. So let's talk about the rest of the questions that we had here this week. So this week we had a lot of questions in the group. Eric is asking, he said, I'm a seller also consulting for a company that's going to sell on Amazon. And we get this question all the time. Can I use a sub account for this company created for me to access Seller Central from my computer? Or is it dangerous and our accounts might get flagged? Is it better solution if I log into the sub account from their office and their computer to avoid using my computer to access this account? So to answer your question, Eric, I actually have multiple accounts and I access multiple, I'm a consultant as well as a seller. And I use the same computer without a VPN, but I use separate email addresses. So I have one email address that's associated with my Seller Central account, and then my personal Seller Central account, and then I have another email address that's associated that I use to log into Seller Central for my clients, to access my clients' Seller Central when we're on coaching sessions and stuff like that. So that's what I would suggest, is that you use different emails from your personal seller account to access this company's seller account. That's very normal. It's fine. You know, I've traveled all over the world and accessed Seller Central from multiple different countries. Never had a problem. So it's a problem if you're selling like the same products across multiple accounts, right? What you want to do is make sure that you are using different accounts for different purposes, right? You don't want to mix one account with multiple uses. So just use a different email and you'll be fine with this. But this is a question that we get all the time from people who are doing the wholesale model. All right. So pesticide issues. Oh my gosh, you guys. Pesticides are such a problem. Products being flagged when you list them, products being flagged as pesticides have been crazy, insane. In fact, we just wrote a listing for one of our clients, and we used the word mildew in the listing. And even though the word mildew it's not even listed in the pesticide policy. So Myra says, my listing was removed because of pesticide infringement. I will follow Amy's instruction to use listing category report to fix the issue. Has anyone also used the report to successfully update the title or canonical URL? So yes, this works very well. It has worked over the years. My original post was from quite a long time ago. So let's talk through this process. So first you remove the suspect words from your listing, and then you are able to get your listing live, right? But check if your product description or anywhere in your listing contains any of these words. Antimicrobial, antifungal, antibacterial. Even if you had antibacterial in your listing before and it wasn't flagged, once in a while the bots update and you'll get flagged again. So, Justin says that worked for me too. Awesome. Thank you, Justin. Yes. So what you want to do is you want to remove, and then mildew, I added the word mildew because again, we always, when we deliver listings to clients, we always deliver it with a disclaimer that says like, look, we cannot promise that your listing will not be flagged because there's so many words like the word mildew that's suddenly flagged and isn't even in their list of flagged words. So just make sure that you're doing that. So Justin says he had to reset to a bare bones template. So Justin, tell me a little bit more what you mean about resetting to a bare bones template. Can you expand on that? So to edit or remove these words anywhere in your listing, in your seller account, this is what you guys are going to do. So you're going to download a category listings report. So contact seller support and ask them to enable category listings, right? Once you have access to this, you're going to go to inventory report, select category listings report. And this report actually contains, it's like a backup of your listing. And then select the category of your listing from the drop down, select request report button, wait for the report to load, select download, and then go to the cells that contain any of the words, save a copy of the Excel file, and then go to inventory, add products via upload. You know how I'm always talking to you guys about using flat files, right? This is what I'm talking about, right? Make sure that you add products via upload, and then upload your inventory file that you just downloaded from your category listings report. So if you cannot access your listing, this is a great way to do it. Have them turn on, you just open up a case with seller support, ask them to turn on enable category listings. And then once they enable it, then you download your category listing report. You can fix the listing and then you can upload via an inventory file. Okay. And then you select these options and upload. And then you want to open up a case, select the email tab, and explain to them that you fixed the issue. All right. And then you're going to press send. And then also message seller support and tell them that you're waiting on a response for this ASIN to kind of get them going on it, right? So it doesn't just sit there. But that's really it. That's how you fix that. Justin says, I changed my title to just my main keyword. The bullets were just a few words and the description was just my main keyword. So essentially I stripped out everything, then restored the previous version, which was okay. Okay, so that's another really great hack for that, is to just completely strip it down. In fact, if you work with like a listing consultant that does this, there's a lot of different consultants that help people with this. That's what they'll recommend. They'll recommend you completely strip it down and then you add it back in without those words at all. So thank you, Justin, for expanding on that. I know that's going to help a lot of people. All right, so listing policies can be found. Category product listings can be found here. Prohibited product claims. If you just put in listing policies or listing restriction product listings inside of the help bar in Seller Central, all of these help articles will come up. So just make sure you take the time to actually read these and utilize this, right? Angela, our next question that we had this week, Angela was asking about Amazon doing an investigation. So she said she got a fun email about their bestseller. Seems like there's an issue with a missing part from what a customer said. There seems to be a bit unbelievable as we run pretty in tight inspection for all of our products. Thanks for the attention and any information would be appreciated. Yeah, so this happens all the time. You can either be targeted by competitors who will do things like buy your products and complain to Amazon that they're missing parts or that they were used, sold as new. This is a tactic to get you shut down. It's so sad, but it does happen. And then there are times when just randomly, or Amazon will return your products back to your inventory when they shouldn't have been returned back to your inventory, and that product will get sent out to your customer or to Amazon's customers, right? And then somebody will complain, call Amazon, and then Amazon opens up an investigation. If you think there might be a problem with your inventory for any reason, if you're getting a lot of returns or something's going on, you can go into voice of the customer, you can go into your return reports and you can see the reason for returns. If you think there might be any problems at all, you can ask Amazon to do a bin check. You could open up a case with seller support and you can ask them to do a bin check for your products, okay? So they will tell you what they see with you providing the context, all right? So make sure that you're providing the context. But long story short, we basically told Angela, hey, don't worry about this. Let them finish their investigation. It's probably nothing. You said you do a good inspection for your products, probably nothing at all. But it's something to think about, okay? All right, so let's see. Oh, she included the email, that we've identified misleading detail issues based on the following customer comments. they're saying this is the second order error. So certain words are going to cause Amazon to go, okay, wait, let's just check. Let's verify what this customer is saying. So again, don't panic if this happens to you. Wait until you can make an informed decision. Wait until they finish their investigation. Unfortunately, it's going to shut down your inventory for that ASIN for a minute, or your listing for that ASIN for a minute, but it'll come back up. Okay. All right. Shipping and pallet questions is our next questions that we had this week. When creating a shipping plan, how do I measure an individual item that is a bottle? Do I use the bottom longer side? So when you're measuring products for a shipping plan, it's important when you're creating your listings on Amazon, you want to make sure that you use the packaging dimensions. So in the more details tab, the two most important fields to fill out so that you can create shipping plan are the overall weight of the product and the package dimensions. So you don't necessarily have to have item dimensions, but you have to fill out package dimensions, which are the outer package dimensions of the individual unit of the product. You need to fill that out, and you need to fill out the shipping weight. This is how your FBA fees are calculated. And if you don't put these things in here and you go to try to create a shipping plan, Amazon's going to go, we need these calculations. So that is how you calculate it. You make sure that in your listing, in the more details tab, that is updated. And then when you go to fill out a shipping plan, it will automatically populate. Also, when you're creating a shipping plan, it will ask you for the dimensions of the box that you're going to send in. So that is another area that you will have to fill out, but it does a pretty good job when you're creating that shipment of walking you through that. So just follow those instructions and you should be good to go there. All right, next. We had someone in our mastermind group ask about pallets. So how do you go about determining the optimal height for pallets? So I just have to tell you guys, we recently again started sending pallets back into Amazon. For a while, pallets were such a pain in the butt. Like we would create a shipment for a palletized shipment to go into Amazon, and they would say, oh, they'd send it to 4 different fulfillment centers, and their calculations didn't even allow us to create one pallet, because you have to have a minimum height for a pallet, right? And you have to have like a minimum weight, and it explains all of that in their pallet. You can see like pallet information. Amazon gives you all of this information, but they explain the minimum requirements for a pallet. But when they would split up our shipments going to different fulfillment centers, it wouldn't even make one pallet. So it wouldn't meet the requirements for one pallet. So we would open up cases with seller support, and we're like, hey, what's going on here? Like, you're telling us we need to send one box on a pallet. That's not going to work, right? Like, and they would not have a good answer for us. They'd be like, sorry, yeah, we need you to send 1 box on a pallet. That doesn't meet your pallet requirements. We can't do that, right? We're not going to waste a pallet for 1 box. It was just insane. But recently they're back again, and they're picking up things mostly on time. and sending in palleted shipments are a lot cheaper than sending in small parcel delivery. But during Q4, you want to send in small parcel delivery. You want to send in SPD, because it's sent a box at a time instead of palletized, and it gets checked in first at Amazon. So during Q4, you want to send in individual case pack units. And then when you are like outside of Q4, you want to send in palletized units if you can, because even though they take a little bit longer to get checked in, Amazon is mostly caught back up, and the shipment savings are going to be really, really significant. So that's something to think about. So when you're sending in your first pallet to Amazon, or you're having your warehouse or somebody or your shipment provider send them in, the question is, how do you go about determining optimal height for the pallets for your LTL partner carrier shipments? I tried to organize it through my 3PL and couldn't even get the height right. So you don't count the height of the pallet. You just count the height of the boxes. So as long as you know the height of your boxes, and so Rashid does all of our inventory and everything like that here. And he says, make sure your pallet does not go over 72 inches. That's really all the LTL partner cares about. They also need to know if it's stackable or not. We do not choose stackable because that means that pallets are going to get stacked on top of each other. So yeah. Okay. Amazon's new customer experience. This is the last thing we're going to talk about today. So Amazon, if you're a registered brand, they have a new customer engagement feature. I posted about this earlier this week in the group. So definitely go check that out and let's talk about it, right? So let's talk about what this new customer engagement feature is all about. I want to hear what your thoughts are. What are you guys working on with this? So we're excited to announce a launch of our new transparency customer engagement feature. When customers scan transparency codes on their products with the Amazon or Transparency app, you can now boost the customer experience, connect with customers, share your brand story, reward customer loyalty and increase sales. You can offer them marketing promotions. You can build your community, enable customers to share your content or capture feedback. So you have to be in the transparency program and you have to have transparency barcodes for this. We used to be in the transparency program, and we actually stopped using it because the barcodes are a pain in the butt. You can't always get them on time, and you have to at the product level, individual product level, each product gets a different barcode. So it's crazy, right? Because you're having to make sure that every single product is labeled with these individual barcodes. So it's just, for us, it didn't make sense because we sell beyond Amazon and we weren't going to do that kind of that level of planning, right? So, but for those of you who are really just maximizing your brand on Amazon and you're using the transparency program, there's a new customer engagement feature. So, you can definitely increase your real estate on Amazon, right? So our friend Sharon Evans, she posted about this. There's a new campaign manager, which has this customer engagement tool. And you can send email campaigns to customers who have purchased products from your Amazon stores. But again, I believe this is only for people in the transparency program that are using transparency barcodes. So you guys let me know what you think about that. But you have to have Amazon stores program. So if you guys have not yet built a store for your Amazon products, you can go into stores and manage stores and create your own store as long as you're brand registered. This is actually pretty easy. There's ready-made templates and they tell you exactly the pixel sizes that are needed for each thing. And then you can go into Canva and you can create something exactly that pixel size, right? Add in your logo, stuff like that. You can easily hire this out as well, but give it a try. It's some really cool stores that you can build. Amazon posts, if you're not doing Amazon posts yet, those show up on mobile at the bottom of the page. You can actually fill up real estate on Amazon with your products, with your posts, just like you can make them look like social media posts. You can get customers following your brand on Amazon. It's really, really cool what you can do. So make sure that you're taking advantage of this. It's all underneath brands on the Seller Central menu. Go underneath brands and you can see posts. You can see all the different options that you have as a registered brand. You can get into brand analytics. You can do all of that. So, as Sharon mentioned, Amazon's really starting to focus more on brand building and continually giving more benefits to brands that are brand registered. I did a live session earlier this week with Seller App where we talked about the benefits of brand registry and why it's important to be brand registered. The thing is, if you're brand registered, you have access to more data than you're going to get outside of that. You have access to advertisements. The key is advertisements. You can do advertisements that not everybody else can do. It's a smaller pool of bidders, so advertising is cheaper. You can do video ads. You can do Amazon posts, which are free and take up a lot of real estate on the page. There's a lot of really great things you can do with brand registry. And you can register with a pending trademark. This is the last thing. Even if your trademark is still pending, You do not need IP Accelerator anymore to get access. So definitely utilize that, right? So Sharon and Alex shared this with me this week. So I definitely appreciate that. And that's really it this week. So that's it for our Ask Me Anything session. We will do this again in 2 weeks. So if you have any questions throughout the week, we'll post and we'll, ask about whatever questions you guys have. If you want to do a specific theme, if you want me to get into something specific, I would love to do that for you guys. Just let me know what you want to learn. Yesterday in our mastermind group, we did video ads. My mastermind group members said we want to learn how to do video ads and we want to learn how to do landing pages. So that's what we did yesterday. We talked about story brands. We talked about creating video ads inside of the mastermind group. So if you guys here in our free group have specific questions or want to learn something specifically, check that out. This week on the Seller Roundtable coming up, don't forget every Tuesday at 3 p.m. Central, you can join us live in Zoom. Just go to sellerroundtable.com/live and you can ask questions of our guests. And then we hang out afterwards and you can ask questions to us, to myself and Andy Arnott. It's a really, really great opportunity to learn and to engage with us for free, which is really, really cool. If you are needing your listing reviewed, if you're having problems with your sales, anything like that, you can go to amazingathome.com and underneath the services menu, there's an option that says free listing review. A lot of you sent me listing reviews this week, and we are changing sales for you. We are giving you updates. We're doing that for free. So if you have a listing that you would like us to review, maybe your sales have stopped, maybe you're not sure what the cause is, maybe you're just not sure if your listing is optimized, we will review it for you for free. It's a video from me looking at your listing and telling you what's up. So you can go to amazingathome.com, go underneath the services menu, choose free listing review. The other thing that we just started this week is our AnyBiz service-based business masterclass. So I'm a student in that class this week. Many of you are students with me, and we're learning how to start and automate our own service-based businesses. So that is really, really cool. If you're wanting to get into that, if you're wanting to check that out, you can go to amazingathome.com/anybiz, all one word, ANYBIZ, and you can fill out our interest form there, and you can check out our demo video where we walk you through this business that we built. It's really cool. Within 6 months, we built a 5-figure a month business, and it's completely automated. We only work in it 30 minutes a day. So my retail partner and I, to our offer, we are taking this class as students, and we are building a service-based business at the same time as a bunch of other students in the class. And it's been a lot of fun. I'm learning a ton, and I'm learning things about finding freelancers and building a team that I didn't know before. So that has been really, really awesome. So it's not too late to join that class. If you guys are still interested in that, to get in at this beta level, check that out. You can go to, like I said, amazingathome.com/anybiz and fill out the interest form, and you can set up a meeting with any of us, and we'll walk you through it and answer any of your questions. So that's what's going on. Next week, Seller Roundtable on Tuesday, we're again talking about another aggregator coming in, talking about selling your business. Maybe with these new restock limits, you want to get out. That's good to go. So we have all those resources for you. And again, ask your questions anytime. All right, we're here for you. We appreciate you guys so much in the Amazing at Home community. If you'll notice, inside of our guides, inside of the Facebook group, there are now, our free course is now posted in there. We're trying to get things organized for you, make it easier for you to find things. We're going to be releasing a new concept to launch checklist so that you get every step along the way from concept to launch of your products. We're here for you, and it's just really awesome to have you all in our community. And let us know what you want to see. We're here for you. All right, so have a great Friday. Have a great weekend, everyone, and we'll see you next week. Bye. Oh, and don't forget to share your wins this week. We want to hear about them. All right, bye, everyone.